Welcome or welcome back, beautiful souls, to the channel. I'm Shika, your conscious mentor, and today I will be going over the first new moon of 2022, the January new moon in Capricorn on January 2nd, 2022. It sounds so weird to say because I feel like the time went by so quickly, but we're here and it's the first month of the year. It's crazy. There's so much energy here, so much to hold space for, and I cannot wait to go over the top things you need to know about this Capricorn new moon. I will be pulling out cards and intuitively giving some messages as well while I'm giving you guys these top things that you need to know for January 2nd, 2021. Before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, put notification bells, share with your friends. I do videos every single week for you beautiful, amazing souls, and I also do these new moon and full moon energy updates, so I'll be able to support you throughout the whole year, as well as meditation. So I will be posting, the next video will be a meditation for you guys, so you're all ready for the January new moon, and I'll be sending you distance energy healing and transmission to help you really maximize the downloads, messages, and how to work with this new moon. I also have my conscious mentoring as well as my programs and courses down below if you feel called to go deeper and start the year with some deep energy healing, shadow work, and expanding yourself. Definitely go check it down below, as well as the retreats. We have retreats for this year. So exciting. 3 2022 retreats. So if you are interested in going deeper with some deep shadow work with plant medicine, healing with me, and you feel called to, that information is down below as well. Now let's get into this Capricorn new moon energy. So Capricorns, any Capricorns here, please let me know down below with a Capricorn emoji. I am really excited. I kind of have like a soft spot for Capricorns because I have some in my family. And I actually have a lot of Capricorn in my birth chart. So that's kind of interesting. The first thing that I will say about this January new moon on January 2nd, 2021 is there's more urge to look outside of yourself for answers, and new beginnings are coming in. So that's causing you to kind of feel this self-guidance. So during this Capricorn new moon, you're being called to really trust the process, even if you don't know what is next. So you kind of like made this decision at the end of the year last year, okay, this is what I want to do. These are the relationships I want to shift. This is the next step. And now you're kind of just at the waiting stand, waiting for it to open, and just trusting that it will open, like the store will open. You will be there. And a card just flew out, which I'm going to message, but let's just tap in more to some clarity, which Spirit is talking really quickly. So let's get right into it because we have a lot of messages here. Oh, I love this. Okay, so listen up. The first thing you need to know here with the cards that we got about the urges of looking outside of ourselves is number one, community. So call into your community at this time to guide you, so they can kind of give you the medicine and mirror the medicine that you need to hear. So when you are urging to go outside of yourself, really find people, and I find reflectors, if you know human design, are really great for this. But any person that can really help you just like get your words out. Doesn't mean that they need to give you advice, but just listen to you. If you're like, hey friend, can you just listen to what I gotta say and listen to these messages? This is great. Remembering that this number is 8, which 8 is all about abundance. It's all about creating, bringing things into our life. So I definitely think community is a huge part of allowing ourselves to fully surrender in this new beginning and trusting the process within ourselves. The other thing is co-create. So I'm going to go into these cards a little bit deeper. We're going to come back to those, but co-create. We have the cat energy, we have the cheetah energy in this card, and I love this. And what it's calling us to do here is to co-create with ourselves. And this is a double edged sword with this card, because it's calling us with this card, we need to create with our own self deep knowledge within, following into our intuition to allow us to find the answers of self. There's no one here that can give you the answers but yourself. You are your medicine. You are your clarity. It's simple as that. And you're like, Shika, oh my God, but I still have so many questions. I get it, but just go to your community. You have your conscious community. We have a conscious community here. Say what you got to say off your chest, but just know that the community and the environment that you're in is going to really help you find that intuition. It's not to say that you, how do I say this? So it's almost like if you're in this community and everyone in this community loves apples, right? So you just assume, I'm just giving you an example, that everyone in this community eats apples because like everyone loves it. And then you go to another community and everyone doesn't like apples there. And you live in this community. So all of a sudden the energy of everyone not liking apples makes an influence on you and your ability to like apples as well. So what I'm trying to say is that if you have an environment and a community that's going to support you, and that's why you have the co-creation card, the co-create. It's a great time to plant those seeds of people you want to create with and reach out, you know, make the commitment, make action on what you want to put in. It doesn't mean that the person will support you and work with you right away, but you're planting that seed for later in the year for it to come. You know, so that comes in with relationships, going out, getting to meet new people. Doesn't mean that if you go on a date that that's going to be the one of your life, but you can go out there and start co-creating and going in the communities to meet people that, you know, resonate with the same interests as you. If you're starting a business, if you're working on a new creative project, this is a great time to start connecting with people in that same niche. So again, this is all about trusting ourselves to go out there and put ourselves in our words, to go with our action, with our truth. Because I know we always want things to be perfect, but Capricorns, you can't do things perfect. You guys want it your way all the time. Like it doesn't work that way. You have to come to co-creating and trusting yourself, not the way that you want things to be planned out, but the way that things are just is. So surrendering to just is. The second thing you need to know about this Capricorn January new moon on January 22nd, 2021, January 2nd, 2021, 2021 is the temptation to binge food. Okay? Temptation to binge food and go into extremist habits that can occur. So the thing is that when we start our journey, sometimes we feel these temptations to go back to what we are used to. Or we start the new year, we're like, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 times a day, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. We put all those high expectations on ourselves. And that creates this kind of perfectionism, which highlights the perfectionism wound of the Capricorn. So what we're calling in is asking you, and Virgos, you might actually resonate with this as well, is that temptation to control the scenario is not needed here. Instead of controlling, we need to tap into our feminine, be in flow for these new beginnings. Remember, the feminine energy is in the sacral. Sacral is the space of co-creation. It's the space of, you know, connecting, creating what we want in our life. For you to create these new beginnings, you're going to have to surrender a lot more. You've planned everything you need to up to this point. Now it's time to act on those plans and go as you go. I also want to mention this card came out and I held it because I had a feeling it would go more with this point, which is so funny. So by the book. And this card's really telling us, you know, instead of going by the book of, you know, how we need to be healthier, what is a successful business. I love social media, don't get me wrong, it's amazing. I love being here. But during the Capricorn new moon, it's not about what everyone else is doing to do better and to expand their business. It's not about, you know, what everyone else is doing and what people have done in the past of being successful in your family, and you have to follow that line. You just have this knowing that this is the direction I need to go, and that's the direction I'm going to go. So just knowing that your story doesn't have to look like everyone else's. Your success in your industry, your success in your relationship doesn't have to go the same way that you've heard everyone in your circle, in your community, which comes back to the community card. Everyone in your community has done it. Right? And I think that's something so important to consider. And I kind of resonate this personally, and I'll share with you guys because I know this is going to resonate. I'm on this very devoted, conscious path, and I see the world in a very energetic way. And my partner is a very different person in the sense that they do not see the world the exact way I do. But I know the medicine that we have in our relationship and our love that we have in our relationship is so powerful that we don't need to do things by the book historically that, you know, we've known our families, our past families and past relationships. Everything has to be the same. Everything has to flow. Everything has to be ticked off the list. It's knowing that in this new beginning, as we've expanded and we've evolved, especially after Solstice and eclipse season last year, that we're holding this space now to tune into this space of like changing, new beginnings, new traditions, new ceremony. You know, what's the new tradition of relationship? What does that mean to you? What does a new year mean to you now? What does work mean to you? What does your lifestyle mean to you? What does happiness, what does love mean to you? Around the time of the new Capricorn in the new moon, it's redefining things, and it's redefining it by letting go of the control. So really be mindful of the way that your relationship between your everyday life, such as food and sleep, these things are coming up a lot, and how you are controlling those elements in your life. And also noticing your temptation to, you know, a lot of binging anything, TV, food, whatever it is, but knowing that this is an extremist to control something that you're about to embark. And if that is coming up, you might want to consider reflecting on, what am I afraid to let go of? What is that thing that I'm afraid to let go of, so I can take the leap and I can change the person I am, that I know today that I am, into a completely different person that I'm being called to. Because let me tell you, we can't attach ourselves to what is right now. I feel like I'm mentoring you guys, but this is a mentoring moment. I am your mentor. So one of the things that I wrote down is the temptation of binging of food is into an extremist habit that can occur, right? So knowing that this extremist of perfectionism, this extremist of like what this is, and it's interesting because like vision maps, vision boards, I'm totally for them. But the thing that I do, and I have a video actually on vision boards, if you guys want to check it out, I'll leave it here down below to help you out if you want to do that as a way to help motivate you as where you're going. But try to create your vision board without attaching to it. It's almost like maybe later on you thought this house was the house that you wanted, but you evolved and you're like, your worthiness has expanded. Well, so will your worthiness of your view of your home. Maybe now that you've shifted, you've let go of control, you've allowed yourself to expand without any restriction. So the definition of control is the fear of expansion. The definition of control is the fear of letting go of the human emotion, so we can tap into the quantum. And the quantum is the superstore. It's the store that has everything you want, anything you can want, but it doesn't mean that you have to buy everything there. It doesn't mean you have to buy every single chip that's there and go home and eat them. You might buy one flavor because you really like it. So my analogy here is that there's always going to be temptation in life to shop, to buy, to skip the gym, to eat some Uber Eats, whatever it is. Temptation is always there. That's human, okay? We have our human moment. But one of the things with this Capricorn new moon is we're really listening to, how am I going to use the voice of my body to teach me how I'm controlling and using the wounded masculine control of my new beginnings and what I want to do in my life. So really listen to the temptations, guys. And the other card that comes in is be fair. As you're honoring this, as you're going into these temptations and extremists, be fair to yourself. It doesn't make sense for us to go on this huge diet if we just spent this whole time, this whole year, being hard on ourselves about our health. It doesn't make sense to put this pressure on ourselves. Oh, I'm going to be single forever. Oh my God. Or I guess I got out a date or whatever. We need to understand we have to be fair to our body, but also know where we're prioritizing our energy. And I'm going to actually read this one because I really like it. So this one is saying that balance, justice, and a need to consider options and mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. So really understanding how we can nourish ourselves during this time, emotionally, mentally, physically, as opposed to just controlling our excessiveness out of avoidance of an escapism, okay? So ask yourself this question for this Capricorn new moon. What are you escaping? That was a deep one. The third thing you need to know about this January new moon on January 2nd, 2021, is that there is a nervousness of now noticing that you have committed to those new beginnings and that the endings in your life are coming into 3D reality, human experience. So, you know, it's almost like if you were to say, I'm going to just sell all my stuff and move halfway across the world. Okay. So you've done the thing, it's going on, but then you get this like butterflies in your stomach and you're like, okay, the flight's in 2 days, second day comes around. You know, those TikToks people show where they're like day 1, day 2 till like whatever they leave. It's like, that's what I feel. It's like you're counting down the days. But I want to change the rhetoric here. During the new moon of Capricorn, what it's teaching you is stop defining our nervousness and anxiety as bad. Because the moment that we say it's bad, we're gonna make ourselves go to that binging of escapism, right? Because we're just like, it's bad, it's too, I just can't, it's too overwhelming. We've all had that where we're just like panicking. Let's change nervousness to the communication of us being able to take a leap to something. There's a difference between being nervous because we don't know, or we're nervous because it's our first time, as opposed to being nervous because we feel like there's something in our gut saying that we shouldn't do something. So notice that nervousness is a spectrum. And your anxiety is a spectrum, and your panic attacks are a spectrum, and your depression is a spectrum. Every emotion is a spectrum. Whether it is bad or good, that depends on you. But in the end of it, there's no bad and there's no good. It is an experience attached to it. So noticing that the nervousness now that we are having to not be committed to these new beginnings because we're noticing reality is hitting, oh my gosh, it's actually happening. That is the block between you allowing yourself to flow with abundance, you being able to strengthen your relationship or bring new relationships in your life, you being able to bring amazing power people to help you with your goals and your intentions and to support you in community. So knowing that we need to disassociate from that nervousness for a second. And how we disassociate from it is we feel it, we notice we're anxious, and we take a step back and we say, that is anxiety, this is me. Do not attach ourselves during this new moon to the outcome of what is going to happen in this new beginning. And that is a lesson for us moving forward in 2022. January 2nd is all about how are you attaching yourself to the outcome of what is to come. You want the car, you want the Tesla, you want the house with the 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. You want the millions of dollars, but just make it easy. Make it simple. Don't overthink it, because perfectionism does not exist as nothingness. You know why? Because the human emotions do not exist. We make it exist by attaching it to an experience or a memory. Deep stuff. When we look at the 3D world, as some people like to say 3D, I just call it reality or human experience. We have to be willing to embrace the nervousness. Because when we look at nerves, it's the same emotions as excitement. So let's change those butterflies to, oh, I'm nervous, but it's okay. Not, I'm nervous, oh my God, I don't know what's gonna happen next. Spirit, let's see if there's a card for us. I'm nervous, I don't know what's going on. What's gonna happen next? Spirit, what do I do? What do I do, Spirit? Help me. There's the help. There's no place like home. When we're going through nervousness, we are leaving our body. We leave our body with avoidance. There is no place like home. When we hit that space of nervousness, we bring ourselves to 15 seconds of where home is. Where that new beginning of home feels like, even if we haven't experienced it. What it feels like, what we want it to be. The authenticity of coming home to yourself, coming to home, arriving to a place where you fit. Being comfortable in your own skin. The Capricorn new moon is all about how comfortable are you in your new skin? How comfortable are you in your new path? How comfortable are you in your new space, in your new place where you are? because the world will continue to go as it goes, and we just have to flow with that nervousness and uncertainty. We can't blame everyone else for that. We got to come to ourselves and say that's what it is. But it's okay. It's not going to prevent me from co-creating the empire that I want to create. Home feels safe and secure. It's comfortable. Place to rest and create. A place that is known for you to come home to yourself. And this is telling me that maybe some of you guys are either moving or you've already moved recently, because it's saying that there's this sense of newness that's coming up. Newness in the home, newness in the space. There's something that's new in your environment. You hold your head high, yet with neither pride or humility. Instead, you stand as you observe, seeing through the eyes of your soul. What does your eyes of your soul say? Breathe into that. You are safe here in the house of your spirit and spirit. You are always safe, regardless of your circumstance right in this moment. But I ask you for you to be successful, to know what new intentions to hold, to create accountability of yourself. Step into your power and trust it, because Spirit has you fully held, fully held. It's your choice to hold it back. It's your choice to hold that support back. Woo, that's some power. Fourth thing you need to know about this January new moon in Capricorn on January 2nd, 2021 is trusting self. Trusting self, even if it doesn't make sense. So again, I mentioned this a little bit briefly, and I want to bring in my Angels and Ancestors card because I know they have a message for us here. But how do we trust ourselves to make sense? I had a client the other day who said, Shika, it just doesn't make sense. I'm going everything against what my family has taught me. So detach yourself from that. Detach yourself from that. We got two cards. Ooh. I pulled the cards and I got some shivers. I feel like this card is like me, the medicine mother. Honor your inner knowing. Honor your inner knowing. What did we just talk about? Finding and to trust self even if it doesn't make sense. Let's read this one because this is going to be, this is going to be a good one. Take action. Do what you know you need to do. Mothers always know best. I'm going to correct that, but they don't always know what's best. Sometimes they don't. You know what's best, and you're your own mother in this new beginning. No one else. You have to drive the wheel. They say that's true. We all know the maternal figure who's extremely intuitive and insightful of the medicine, and this medicine mother has gone through many ups and many downs. She has lived and has not lost. You have lived but have not lost. She knows what it's like to suffer and to want to give up. So the medicine of this card is that it's okay to make mistakes and get it wrong sometimes. And that's okay for things to come to an end. And what's coming up for me for shadow work that might come up, you guys might have some conflict with any motherly person, even your own mother around this time. And it's teaching us a little bit about the mother wound. So knowing that, yes, they might know what's best at a time when they were teaching us in that space, but that doesn't mean that every single one of us makes mistakes. And ancestrally, we hold the lineage and we hold the connection of our ancestors, and also what the suffering they walked through, the pain they walked through, including the worthiness that they saw in themselves. So really asking yourself in terms of your mother or whoever was a mother-like figure for you as a child, this is a great time to tap and do some shadow work on how did you hold on to that suffering? How did your mom hold on to that suffering? Did they not release it? How is their worthiness in this space coming up? A lot of things on worthiness. The medicine mother reminds you to, even though you have your low lows, you aren't here to suffer. You're here to be supported and to be supported by others. I love this card because we talked about community. So during this time, you know, it's a great time to start creating that new beginnings with community, maybe some new relationships you had last year that are continuing, or even reaching out to new people and bringing some new relationships. And with the medicine woman, it's like this deep knowing that it's okay that we were in our lows. It's okay that we're feeling this like lack of trusting the process, but we're recognizing and we're doing something about it. So the other card I got here for you is the Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. So I love how both cards are kind of the duality of the yin and yang. So this is more of a masculine energy. It's like getting things done without getting too much in our head. This is going to probably resonate with a lot of you guys. Being able to be in soft authority, which essentially means bringing in that medicine mother from that medicine mother card, that gentle space, you know, allowing your energy to be the one that allows you to get more clients, that allows you to, you know, get a relationship, that allows you to attract new friendships if last year was really lonely for you, that allows you to just honor the journey and opening one door into another door into another door. It kind of reminds me of Marushka dolls, the little dolls that have one inside the other. This is kind of what it's showing. It's like bringing in, letting yourself surrender as the mother to go and open each doll and just keep on pulling until you get to the last one. And the action of the shield of the maiden is bringing in this soft authority in your power, this soft authority in yourself, and how you can really expand through these coming weeks. It's going to be very shifting. Like the next couple of weeks is like either you make it and you allow yourself to listen, or you don't. Have a plan or strategy to place before moving forward. The Shield Maiden is a female knight, shining armor, the Viking traditions, women who are seen to be equal to men, and so join them in the raids of the thoughts of the battlefield. In this deck, the Shield of Maiden brings the fiercely feminine energy, like I said, soft authority, the power to be a warrior while retaining the feminine sensitivity. So what I mean by that is like essentially there's this big movement happening energetically. I'm getting a lot of premonitions about it, and I'm getting some here as I talk to you guys. And it's this message that historically women had to be like men. We had to work harder like men. We had to do this like men to make our role. And there's this movement of this feminine essence where we can bring feminine and still bring power, still hold space, still be in our energy. And I call into that because I say, no matter your gender, no matter who you are and what you hold space, we have access to those spaces. It is a scale. It is a space of a line in the sense of we can go into our feminine and masculine when we need to. But remembering that we need to trust the process. And in order for us to trust in the process, we need to honor our feminine. And then in doing that, we can get these messages from spirit with the mother, the medicine mother. We can get messages from spirit knowing what we have to do next. The last thing you need to know about this January 2nd, 2021 Capricorn new moon is that finding movement as a way of medicine to release any fear that is coming through. The way out is through. Do not allow panic and fear to overcome that. So what I'm trying to say is that movement is a great way to move the body. I've been loving dancing, especially hip movements, to allow me to surrender in my feminine. And if I feel like I'm always in that binge of control and, you know, controlling the space of whether that's relationships or whatever, I'm bringing in that fear and it's causing me to control and react in that way. Movement's a great way to move stagnant energy, such as lacking trust, moving yourself away from the mind and into the body again. Because again, remember, binging and excessiveness, extremism is just all about leaving something that is natural and forcing something that is completely opposite. And this is a great time to really connect with Mother Earth energy. So whether that is like calling in Mother Earth in meditation, or even just having a Mother Earth element or a root chakra crystal on your altar in your space would be great. Even having some fresh flowers. I know it's cold where I am. I'm in Canada, but if you can have some fresh flowers, that would be really helpful. Anything that can really help you, I think, would be really good at this time. I'm going to pull out some cards as well for some affirmations because I'm feeling the cards. The fact that we had 2 third eye cards is really telling me get out of your head, get into your dreams. Get out of your head, get into your new beginnings. So we have acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. We got to learn that. Okay? So this is another thing that's coming through for me right now, is that even though we're starting the new beginnings and things aren't the same as they used to, and you're thinking of how things you want them to be, how about accepting what is and working through that and allowing that to be the medicine to help you with a different perspective to make this new beginning? Because exactly where you are is exactly where you need to be. I know Capricorns and Virgos right now are like, because they don't want to hear that. They're like, what are you telling me, my body? Discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. This is like your everyday. If you feel that lack of trust comes in, if you feel like you have that lack of trust of reaching out to create with some new amazing beings on your project, if you feel like anxiety comes in, fear comes in, whatever it is, as you start to see things come into that 3D and reality is hitting, and like everything you've worked on the past year is now coming, whoop, big force. Like 2022 is no joke. This new moon is no joke. Whatever we set in the intention, whatever energy we have in this Capricorn new moon will ripple effect in throughout a whole year. So it's really important that we're allowing ourselves to accept what is here, but also be disciplinary with where we're meant to act on. Okay? There's no, but what if, oh, let me just wait a little bit longer. Let me just wait. Spirit's like, no, we're going to do it right now. I don't care what you're saying, we're doing it. Like, it's happening. No excuses, okay? So I love the cards you guys got. This was an amazing reading. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was awesome. Let me know what resonated with you down below. And also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, put notification bells. I do videos every single week for beautiful souls, and I do these new moon and full moon energy updates every month, as well as meditations. That's coming up for you guys, so you can meditate and heal with that. And if you want to go deeper into your healing, don't forget to join the courses down below. I have various courses for you guys, as well as I have my one-on-one mentoring that you can apply for down below, and my retreats for 2022. What better way to trust than to honor our shadow work and do that inner healing. So I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Happy new moon in Capricorn, and lots of love. Bye.